Let us now learn about file handling in C programming. So by the end of this part, you will understand how to create, read, write, and close files in C. So let's get started. In C programming, file handling allows us to store data permanently to the computer's storage instead of just in memory. For example, you can save user input to a file and then load it later, even after the program is closed. So C provides us with a set of functions in the standard input-output library to work with files. Okay, so to work with files, we use a file pointer of type file. Okay, so we use it like this. So it is here the file pointer, so the pointer, it is a pointer. Okay, it is a pointer, so which means it is there, it is a pointer. Okay, so it is a pointer, but it is of a type file. Okay, so the type is not integer, is not what is it, it is a file. Okay, like this. Okay, so let me go back like this. I don't want to bring confusions. It is that. Okay, it is that. So the type is file. Okay, and here in order to use these ones, you need to get, in order to use these ones, file input. Okay, in order to work with writing to a file. Okay, in order to write to a file, you need to include this library. Okay, this library using the hashtag include preprocessor directive. Okay, so here we use the file. It is a file. We use the file pointer. Okay, the file pointer of type file. Okay, of this one. Okay, so like that. Okay, like that. Okay, so the general syntax looks like this. Okay, so we use this one. So this one is going to be the file pointer and the type file. Okay, then after doing that, we can open it using the fp. So let us open the stream. Okay, the file stream using the fopen. Okay, and this fopen function is found inside the standard input output library. Okay, so like that, fopen. Then inside here you can provide the file name, okay, the file name, and from there plus the extension. Okay, from there you can provide the mode. Okay, you can provide the mode like that. Okay, the mode that you want. Okay, so the file name is the name of the file, and the mode tells how we want to open the file. Okay, so there are many modes, okay, that we have. Okay, the common ones include the R. Okay, this one, the R mode, this one, the R mode, and this is the read mode. Okay, and we have the W mode, and this is the write mode. Okay, it creates a new file. Okay, or overwrites an existing file. Okay, so we have the A for appending. Okay, and this is the append mode. Okay, and this one adds data at the end of the file. Okay, of a file. Okay, so we have another one which is called the R plus, read and write. Okay, R plus, like that, read and write mode. Okay, so if the file cannot be opened, this fopen, this one returns null. Okay, if the file cannot be opened, okay, it returns the null. Okay, which means fp will contain null. Okay, here we shall have null. Okay, like this, null, like that, it will return null. Okay, so let us now take a look at how we can write to a file. Okay, so I have an example here. Let me just paste it here, and I'm going to explain everything. Okay, so there I'm going to comment out all of these ones. Let me comment out all of it. Then from there, so here we use the file pointer. Okay, the file pointer of type file. Okay, here as you can see here, of type file, and from there we have we have here we use the fopen function. Okay, as you can see, so the name of the file is data.txt, and we are writing. Okay, so the mode is write. Okay, so write mode. Okay, so here we check, we use the if statement to check if fp equals to null. Okay, and if it is equals to null, it means that there was an error while opening the file. So we're going to print out error opening the file, this one. Okay, and after we return the false. Okay, the exit one. Okay, the return one, which is false. Okay, so after there, else if this one if fp equals is not equals to null, then this code is going to run. Okay, it's going to run, and then we are going to return success, true. Okay, this one we are going to return true. Okay, so let us take a look at this one. So here after opening the file, okay, we get a stream. After opening the file, we have got a stream. We use the fprint function. Okay, and this fprint function takes in some arguments. Let me show you something here. fprint function, like that. This fprint function is also found in the stdio, okay, .h. Okay, so it takes in some arguments. Okay, as you can see here, takes in the file pointer. As you can see here, takes in the restrict file, blah blah blah, some sort of these ones like this. Okay, but here what you need to provide is, okay, you need to provide these ones. Okay, you need to provide the stream, okay, which is the fp here. Okay, this one. Okay, after opening the file, okay, you need to provide that stream, okay, to a file, okay, to that file that has been opened. Okay, after there you need to provide the data that we are going to write, okay, and other arguments. Okay, but these ones are the one that we are going to provide. Okay, we provide the string that we are going. So in this case, you can even write a number, but an integer, but here we are writing a string. Okay, so we are writing hello world. Okay, and then we break the line. Okay, as you can see, we break the line. We move the cursor to the next line. Okay, so next we do the same on the next line. We also use the fprint. Then from there we use the fclose to close the file. Okay, to close the file in order to release resources. Okay, after opening the file, we have written some sort of text, and then we have to close the file using the fclose for file close. Okay, then we provide in this file, okay, the buffer, okay, this one, fp. Then from there, because this one, because in order to execute this one, it means this one is success. Okay, or we have opened the file successfully. Successfully. So we need to we can print out this statement that data has been written successfully, because this code has been successful. Okay, so let us try to save, and then we try to run and we see the output. So you should note that in my folder I have only this one, which is the VS Code, this one for setting up the VS Code. Okay, VS Code.vs Code, this one, should not mind about it. And I also have this header file, okay, where I've been copying, okay, everything. And here we have the home, okay, our file home.c. So even if I try to open the terminal, then I press ls, as you can see we have VS Code and these ones. Okay, they are the same. So let us try to compile. Let's try to compile into home.exe. As you can see, home.exe has been generated. And then let us run. Let us try to run using /home. As you can see, we get data written successful, and the new file has been created, data.txt. As you can see, so we have successfully created a new file. Okay, so in summary, we opened a file in write mode. We wrote 2 lines and closed the file using the fclose. You should always close files after use to free resources. Okay, so let us now take a look at how we can read from a file. Okay, so to read from a file, we use the same approach, but it is going to be a little bit different because we are not writing to a file. So let me go here and set here, and then I copy everything. I'm going to explain later. Let me copy, allow me to copy everything, and then I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to paste everything there. Okay, so here you are going to note we are using the same approach. Okay, so let me exit this one so that I explain. So this is the code. So here we have here we create the file pointer of type file, as you can see. Then here instead of using, okay, so before using the fopen, we first create a buffer, okay, that is going, or we first allocate, okay, some memory, okay, that is going where our text, our data, okay, that we are going to read from a file is going to be stored. Okay, and the maximum length of that data is going to be 100 bytes, okay, of memory. Then from there we use the fopen function to open our file, but the mode we are opening, we are opening it in is the read mode, okay, because we are reading. Okay, from there we use, okay, we need to check, okay, if the file has been opened successfully. Okay, as you can see, so here fp, as you can see, if it is equals to null, then it means we have not opened the file. Okay, so it means the file does not exist. Okay, so as you can see here, file not found. Okay, so we can print this one out, file not found, and then we return false. Okay, which is the exit. Okay, false, failure. Okay, so from there, if this one is not true, okay, which means fp is not equals to null, then this piece of code is going to run. Okay, so we use the while loop and we use the fgets. Inside the while loop, we are going to read a line. We are going to read, okay, we're going to read line by line. Okay, we're going to read line by line. So as you can see, we use the fgets function here. Use the fgets function. It is also found inside the standard input output .h library. Okay, that one. So inside here we need to provide some few arguments. Okay, so here we provide the buffer, buffer. Okay, provide the buffer, and then from there we provide the maximum. Okay, so the maximum is going to be, the maximum length is going to be 100. Okay, in order to maintain, and there we need to provide our stream. Okay, file stream, it is fp, and if it is not equals to null, then we are going to print. Okay, if we are going to print, okay, something here, we're going to print, we're going to put our buffer in a string, in form of a string, because it is a string here, as you can see. So the format specifier we are using here is of a type string, as you can see, %s for strings. Okay, so from there we need to close our file. Okay, so after reading everything as we are printing out of that data, we close our file. Okay, so and then we'll return 0, okay, which is true for success. So let us try to save, and then open the terminal, and then let us try to compile using gcc. Then let us try to run. So before we run, let us go inside our data. As you can see, we have hello world. This is the file handling. This is file handling, and then let us run. Okay, let us run. As you can see, we get this output, which is the same as this one. Okay, so let us try to write another one. So this is the text, like that. Let us save it. And then let us come back in the terminal, and then we run again. As you can see, we get this one. Okay, this is the text. Okay, we don't need to compile again. Okay, because this one was created, we created it in order to read that specific file called the data.txt. Even if we add other pieces of text like that one code, and we save, and then we try to run again, as you can see, we get this data. Okay, that data. Okay, so in summary, this program reads each line, okay, from the data.txt and prints it to the screen using the fgets. Okay, which I showed you here, this one down here inside the while loop. Okay, so we read each line and we print it out. Okay, on that statement. Okay, so let us now take a look at how we can append it to a file. Okay, so sometimes you don't want to overwrite existing content, okay, but just add new content. Okay, and that's where the append mode comes in. Okay, so for instance, we have our data here. It is this one. Okay, and if we try to use the write mode, let us go back and we use the write mode. Let us go back and we use the write mode. Few arguments. Let's try to use the write mode here, as you can see. So if we save, as you can see, so we have this line, these two lines. Okay, so let us try to save. As you can see here, we are writing these two, only these two. Okay, hello world, and this is the file handling. So if we save, remember the write mode is going to overwrite. Okay, if the file exists, it is going to overwrite the existing content. Okay, so if we try to compile and then we run, as you can see, data written successfully. And if we go back in our file, as you can see, the data has been overwritten. Okay, so let us take a look at how we can append. So let us see how we can append. In order to append to a file, let us go back here. Let us so instead of removing this one, let me delete all this. Let me delete that file, and here we need to close. Okay, need to close the file. So this code, I'm not going to delete this one. So what am I going to do here? So here we are going to use this one, file dot this one. Okay, so instead of using this one, let us first remove that one. Okay, so we are going to use the fopen. We are going to use fp, this one, but this one we need we need the file point. Okay, so we need the file pointer, which is that one. So we should not ignore it, and then we use fp, and we are opening this one, but in append mode. Then from there we can use the printf. We can use the fprints, and then we want to bring the buffer, which is fp, and then we want adding a new line. Okay, we add a new line, and then we move the cursor to the next line. Okay, the file, and then we cross like that. So if we do that, and then we try to compile, before we run, as you can see, we have only 2 lines, and if we try to run, as you can see, another line has been added, adding a new file has been added. Okay, so now instead of repressing all the content, this adds the text to the end of the file. Okay, the end of the file, inside the file. Okay, so that is it about file handling in C. Okay, play out with it. It is very necessary in C programming.